For you good fans of Hellboy that were worried that the last film tarnished the name of Hellboy, that you would never get a theatrical release film ever again, well, you got hope, because it seems like you're getting one. It seems like we're getting a new Hellboy movie. So let's talk about it, and I'm going to read as much as I can of this article, and we'll discuss and go from there. So, Millennium Media has announced that Hellboy is being rebooted once again in a new movie called Hellboy the Crooked Man, and it looks to expand the world of the character through one of the most beloved issues of the comic series. As reported by Deadline, Crank director Brian Taylor will be helming the new film, and perhaps most excitingly for fans, Hellboy creator Mike Mignola has written the script alongside Chris Golden. This will be the first time Mignola has written a script for a Hellboy movie. The Hellboy, the Crooked Man comic was released in July 2008 alongside Hellboy 2: The Golden Army, and finds Hellboy teaming up with a rookie from the Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense after they get stranded in the 1950s rural Appalachia. There, they discover a small community haunted by witches, led by a local devil with a troubling connection to the Hellboy's past, the Crooked Man. For those who wish to know more about the Crooked Man, he was at least in the comics an 18th century miser and war profiteer named Jeremiah Wickens, who was hanged for his crimes yet returned from hell as a region's resident devil. The Crooked Man is a departure from a previous Hellboy films where Mignola and the creator of the comics will finally shepherd an authentic version of his stories and characters in film form, said Millennium Media's president Jeffrey Greenstein, who was at the EFM in Berlin talking to potential distributors about the project. This is the first in the series of films that will captivate audiences in familiar and new ways. Brian Taylor is an expert across the board, and I couldn't think of a better person to bring this story to life, to show our audience this different and original Hellboy slate of films. Now it's going to get into, it was last played by David Harbour, and it kind of got bad reviews, and how Ron Perlman played it, but it talks about how Ron Perlman would be up to play the part again. Now, the thing that I would like to see, I think making a Hellboy film again could possibly be a risk, but I think doing a Hellboy show would actually be a lot wiser. But if you make it not super expensive, you do the right things with it, maybe you could do something really cool. And if you have a better director than the director you had in the new reboot, then maybe things can work out. I never saw the David Harbour one. I've always wanted to read the Hellboy comics, but it's one of those comics where I want to read it, but then there's these other things that I just want to either read or experience more, and it's always taken a back burner. That's a personal problem with myself. I need to read at least maybe this story, since it's going to be adapted into a film. But for me, as a customer, if you make a bad product, I shouldn't have to go see the bad product just because I'm a fan. To me, I expect more from the content that I watch, and I love stories, and I love heroism, I love these characters, but you gotta make something good if you expect me to go see it. And the way I view that is I have like 4 different reviewers that I listen to, 4 to 5. I hear their opinion, and if they all say it's trash, then I believe them. If half of them say it's trash and the other ones say it's good, I'll check it out for my own opinion. And then if all 4 of them say it's absolutely amazing, well, then I get kind of excited because they're very diverse in their perspectives, and so I feel like I can kind of trust, I can kind of glean from if I'm going to like this movie or not. And so they all hated the last one, and so me personally, I just decided not to watch it. But I am excited to see this new set of films, if they can work. And I guess the question is it better to make it a show, or do you think it'd be better to be a movie? Because I personally think maybe they should do a Hellboy show, but we already know that Hollywood right now financially is kind of drying up, and maybe they couldn't afford a Hellboy show, but if they could keep a cheaper movie, maybe it could do well. I don't know. It'll be kind of interesting to see. But guys, what about you? Do you like this idea? Because I will say this. Let me add this one last point. If this movie does well, they are adapting this straight from a comic. And could we see future adaptations of stories almost be taken straight from the comic itself? And if that happens, how many people will go and read the source material because of this? It's something James Gunn is doing with DC, and I think it's kind of cool. And maybe this will help sell some Hellboy comics as well. I'm interested in reading it. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you excited about a new movie? Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think this is a absolutely terrible idea? Let me know in the comments down below. Have you read the comic? Was it good? Would you recommend it? Should I read it? I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to try to check it out. So, anyway, guys, whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, I hope you're having a good one. Peace.